How's it going, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. In December, I uploaded a video titled Watching Old George Strait Commercials, where I just gathered together a compilation of old school George Strait television commercials from the 1980s, 1990s, heading into the 2000s, and just sort of reacting to them and, talking about my thoughts and, talking about his various endorsement deals throughout the decades. And if you guys watch that video, which I will leave a link to in the cards and the exclamation point, that's probably going to be like around here, it'll pop out with a link. Make sure to go like that video and subscribe also if you haven't. I ended that video with another sort of bonus ad featuring Alan Jackson and Clint Black. I believe the ad was from 1993, and it was to promote a either a joint tour they had or two tours going on during the same summer of 1993. And it was a commercial for Miller Lite. It was a cool, fun commercial, and watching that commercial got me thinking just about the state of country music in 1993 and how for that brief window of time, like from the early 1990s to the mid 1990s, it was like America for that brief window of time was in the country music zeitgeist. Country music had been relevant at certain times before, and artists had crossover hits into the mainstream, of course, but the success of country music during that specific period of time was really unprecedented because for the first time you had mega stars like Garth Brooks selling tens of millions of physical copies of their albums, and of course George Strait and Alan Jackson, Clint Black and others were going out on stadium headlining tours selling, again, millions of copies of their albums. And for a while it was all about country music, and there was like a bit of country music fever in America, the likes of which had not really been seen before and hasn't really been seen since. And so I thought there had to have been other commercials, other country stars that were frequently brought up by companies to promote their products, and it turns out I was right. So today we're going to be looking at 4 more of the biggest country music stars of that era and their various endorsement deals, and of course we are starting off with the 2 guys that featured in that last ad, Alan Jackson and Clint Black. Now, Alan Jackson had probably the most well-known endorsement deal. Some of y'all will probably know these commercials, but he had a very lucrative deal with Ford trucks throughout the 1990s. So I'm going to show you guys 2 of his commercials here. You all see a similar theme with these commercials, so check out what he does with his songs in these ads.
Well, if I had money, I'll tell you what to do. Go downtown, buy a Ford truck or 2. I'm crazy about a Ford truck. Lord, I'm crazy about a Ford truck. I'm gonna buy me a Ford truck and cruise it up and down the road.
Hurry to your local Southern Quality Ford dealer right now and get 1.9 APR on a 98 F-Series truck. Come see why Ford F-150 is the best-selling pickup in America.
Woo!
So those of you who are hardcore fans of Alan Jackson might recognize that tune as Mercury Blues, which is on his A Lot About Livin', A Little About Love album, which came out in 1992. That was the last track on the album. It was a #1 hit for him. That's actually a cover song. It is a song originally performed by the Casey Douglas Trio, and it's been covered by tons of artists throughout the years. But the thing is, for the commercial, Alan Jackson changed the lyrics. The original line is, "I'm crazy about a Mercury, I'm gonna buy me a Mercury and cruise it up and down the road." Well, he changes it to, "I'm crazy about a Ford truck, I'm gonna buy me a Ford truck and cruise it up and down the road." So you can see how he sort of like sticks the company name in there, gets you thinking about Ford and how cool Ford is. It's a pretty, smart ad. So here is another commercial. This one is from the year 1994. This time Alan Jackson is performing one of his own self-penned hits, Gone Country, which was a big hit, sort of like a satire on the country music bandwagon that was going on in the mid-1990s, how everyone was flocking to the country music industry. And so again, check and see what he does with the lyrics to sort of suit the Ford brand.
He's got pride in his heart and dirt on his hands. There's one place to find a hard-working man. Ford Country, look at that truck. Ford Country, built Ford tough. Ford Country, when the work gets done. Ford Country, the whole world's Ford Country.
So as you can see, instead of Gone Country, it's Ford Country. I think that of the 2 commercials, that one's the best. Like, that's a very well shot commercial. The uploader has it in very, very good quality too. I was surprised by how high quality the footage was there. That looks like an ad that could come out today still, to be honest. And just so you guys know, I will be leaving all of the links to the ads in this description. I'm not sure if I did that for the George Strait video. I should go back and edit that description. But yes, all of the ads will be linked in the description if you guys want to go watch them on your own time. So now we are moving on to Clint Black, and right here we've got another Miller Lite Light ad. Clint Black was, at the dawn of the 1990s, many people thought that he and Garth Brooks would, you know, dominate the 1990s together. Of course, Garth Brooks blew up to heights bigger than anyone could have imagined. And, you know, even though Clint Black was super successful, he and many others were seemingly left in the dust despite how successful their own careers were. So this is to promote Clint Black's Texas tour. The date on this commercial says 1992. I think it's actually from a bit earlier. That might be the wrong date. But anyway, here's the commercial.
Straight from the factory, we were made for each other. One of those things it's meant to be. Straight from the factory, nothing less than exactly. You're the only lock just made to fit my key.
Only the biggest beer in Texas could bring you Clint Black's Texas tour. Miller Lite, Texas brewed, Texas proud. It's it, and that's that.
So again, that's a really, really short 30-second spot. You don't really see anything specific about Miller Lite. Clint Black doesn't even have any lines in it, but I really like that ad because of the aesthetics of it. You get a bunch of really cool, old school footage shots of Texas and various Texas landmarks. You've got the Fort Worth Stockyards, which I've been to. Super great. So I think that's a cool commercial, just aesthetics-wise. Like, you get some pretty cool footage there in the background. Now we're moving on to a commercial that finally is not promoting a pickup truck or a beer brand. This is Clint Black for Weedables Crackers. Kind of an interesting product there.
Mr. Clint Black, down here.
Ernie Keebler?
Yes, sir. We heard how much you liked our Weedables, so I brought you a box.
Come on!
Oh, my. Oh! Yeah. The Weedables.
Weedables? Yeah!
Some crackers.
So that's kind of a funny ad, and you get to see more of Clint Black's acting skills. He gets to show off more of his personality there, and it's kind of a play on the typical trope of, you know, teenage girls chasing after, you know, one of their favorite artists, fangirling after them and screaming. But instead of, you know, chasing after Clint Black and Ernie Keebler, they're actually, you know, trying to hunt down the box of crackers. Now we're moving on to a country star that was out a little bit before these guys, before Clint Black and before Alan Jackson, more from George Strait's era. I am talking about Randy Travis, one of the biggest country stars of the latter half of the 1980s, heading into the 1990s. Randy Travis was already a megastar by the time Garth Brooks and Alan Jackson were coming out, had numerous hit singles, multi-platinum albums, and of course, because of that, he was also sought after by several companies to do commercials. This commercial I'm about to show you first is a pretty iconic one. It came out in 1990, and it is for Coca-Cola. Some of y'all might know what I'm talking about.
Outside this old world just keeps on.
Randy Travis, he's the best.
Still the real things are.
What a voice.
Hello.
Hi.
It's when you found the real thing.
Think he's as cute in person? Uh-huh. What I wouldn't give to meet a guy like him. Hey, Julie, want to ring up this Coca-Cola Classic?
Thank you. Can't beat the real thing.
So there is Randy Travis slaying the ladies man right there. That's a really iconic, great ad. I really like the song he performed in that ad. He actually wrote that just for the ad. And what's really, really cool is that the uploader of this ad on YouTube included sort of like a mini documentary that was filmed around that time where Randy Travis is discussing, you know, the behind the scenes and the making of that commercial. So that's pretty cool to see, and he talks a little bit about writing the song for the commercial. So now we're going to skip ahead a few years. Again, we're sticking with Randy Travis. This one is from 1996, and it is for Folgers Coffee.
Another town, another show. Wake up on the bus, but that's life on the road. Though the morning is bright, it still feels like last night. Put the Folgers on the cruise. That aroma pulls me through. Like a friendly voice from back home calling you. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup. That rich aroma, mountain grown. The road is long, but now it feels like home. The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
So as you can see, it's kind of a corny ad. You've got, like, you know, the glamour shots of Randy Travis sleeping in his bed and, you know, waking up and stretching his arms, and you've got, you know, the coffee pot, you know, steaming up, and oh, it smells so good and it looks so good and so yummy. But again, another really, really cool original jingle that Randy Travis wrote just for the commercial. And of course, he fits in the iconic tagline, "The best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup." That's a pretty good ad right there. So now we're moving on to one of the biggest country stars of the latter half of the 1990s, who sort of emerged during that time and went on to dominate the 2000s and even into the 2010s. We are talking about Tim McGraw, who had a pretty lengthy endorsement deal with Bud Light. And so this commercial right here is from the year 2000, and it's a pretty cool commercial because it stars Tim McGraw's late father, Tug McGraw, who was a former MLB baseball pitcher.
License and registration, please.
There you go.
Well, well, well. Looks like we got a celebrity here.
Yeah, I guess so.
You're Tug McGraw's kid. Your dad had the best screwball I ever saw. So you're a bus driver, huh? Well, not everyone can have an arm like Tug. Officer? Holy moly. That's Tug McGraw.
Bud Light is proud to sponsor Tug McGraw's son.
He still got it.
So that's kind of a silly ad, but it's a cute one because, of course, you know, you get to see the father-son combo in there. But of course, it's kind of silly, you know, like, oh, he doesn't recognize Tim McGraw, but he recognizes the dad. So I mean, that was silly, but it's kind of funny. Now we're moving back a year. This one is from 1999.
It's Tim McGraw. Just no.
Y'all got Bud Light?
Yeah, it's over there. One's on bottom or colder.
The Bud Light Tim McGraw Tour, rolling into a town near you.
Here's your change. Oops.
So what's interesting about that commercial is that it's almost the exact same premise as that Randy Travis Coca-Cola commercial from a decade prior, but the main difference is that, you know, we've got some female on male sexual harassment there. But yeah, it really is interesting because when I saw that commercial, I was like, that has to be like an intentional ripoff, right? Because again, it's very, very similar. You've got the country star walking in, two girls working behind the counter at the gas station convenience store. Like, it's too similar to be coincidence. So here we've got the third Tim McGraw Bud Light commercial. This one's from 1998. I realize I've gone in reverse chronological order. That was an accident on my part.
So these are really Tim McGraw's jeans?
The genuine article.
How'd you get them?
You'd be surprised what some people do for a cold Bud Light on a hot day.
Yeah, right.
I love it. I want some more of it.
Bud Light is proud to sponsor Tim McGraw.
So again, another Tim McGraw Bud Light commercial with really, really weird vibes, but this one is definitely weirder than the two girls in the gas station one because like let's just think of what happened there for a second. This guy at the merch table who is selling official Tim McGraw merch, like I assume he is the merch guy for the tour, meaning he's an official part of Tim McGraw's crew. He is selling official Tim McGraw jeans, and when the woman asks, "How did you get Tim McGraw's jeans?" he says in a super creepy tone, "You'd be surprised what some people would do for a cold beer on a hot day." Like, so hold on, is this guy saying that like he bribed Tim McGraw into giving him his pants just so he could have a beer? Like Tim McGraw was like, "Man, I could really use a Bud Light right now," and the merch guy was like, "Sure, I'll give you a beer if you give me your pants." Like there's some weird stuff insinuated with this commercial that just does not make sense. Like, a very bizarre, weird storyline with this commercial for sure. So on that note, we are going to end this video right here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Those ads were fun, cool to watch. Always a fun blast from the past to watch these old school television ads, and this time I'm just doing it with a bit of a country twist, looking at some of the best country stars of the 1990s. Let me know what you guys think of this video. If you would enjoy more videos like it, I really enjoy just sort of fun, lighthearted country videos like this with a bit of history involved. And yeah, if there are any other old school country music ads that you guys remember from back in the day that I did not include in this video that you guys remember really sticking out to you, be sure to let me know in the comments section. And if you guys really want me to react to some of them, link them if they are on YouTube, or just let me know and I'll go and try and find them. But yeah, guys, make sure to like and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.